I'm on the northwest coast of Mayo. That's the Atlantic out there. And on the other side of the Atlantic is a guy named Thomas who watches these videos. He's in Miami in Florida. And he said if you ever get a chance to go to Blacksod, which is where I am, go and talk to a guy named Vincent Sweeney, which is what I'm about to do.
Out where the direction I'm pointing is going west, in other words out into the Atlantic. There's Acklehead and Saddlehead, and south of us there's Schlievemore. And if you continue all the way in, you're looking at Blacksod Bay, which is a fine deep harbour, a fine deep bay. In fact, during the First World War, the British Navy were in and out of here quite a lot. Right. On the patrols for U-boats in the Atlantic and stuff like that.
Vincent is talking to me from his office.
Yeah.
A butty, blocky building near the pier. The Blacksod Lighthouse. It's a grand day here today and the lighthouse looks a bit overbuilt, but I came over on a stormy night and I had to hunker down behind the wall to try and get a shot of the lighthouse. It's only then you get an idea of what the building is for and is up against. Or you could get Vincent to show you the bolt off one of the outside doors that were burst in during a storm.
I have kept the bolt off the old door in 2014. Look at that. That was the 5th of January 1991. Look at that.
It's gone.
That's the door here where we walked in.
It's like a child took a...
Yeah.
Vincent's dad was the lighthouse keeper before him, and he was here from the 1930s.
I was born and raised here, and then afterwards got married and my children were brought up here.
What was it like as a place to grow up?
It's a lovely place to grow up.
Was it?
With pastimes and rock pools and fishing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As regards living in the lighthouse itself, it was tough. You were losing a lot of heat because there was open fires, and of course a lot of that was going up the chimney. And
the thick walls weren't holding it in,
no? No. We were heating Ackle as well as Blacksod, I'm afraid.
The Blacksod Lighthouse is automated now with all the necessary high-tech gear downstairs.
This here is our communication system. Headquarters is in Dunleary, so all information is going back to Dunleary. The whole coast. If anything goes wrong, Dunleary will know before I know.
But upstairs, the gear is lower tech, but effective in its simplicity.
This brass work has to be done every month.
Up until about 10 years ago, the bulbs were ordinary domestic light bulbs.
There were 3 Philips soft-tone ordinary household bulbs.
Right, were they?
Yeah, and now you can see there's 4 halogens.
What's their duration?
The duration, which is called the character, or the sequence of flashes, is 2 every 7.5 for Blacksod.
But my favourite is the red window pane on the side of the lantern room.
Red is for danger. There's a reef just north of us. If you're north of us or in Balmullet area and you're coming towards Blacksod, you have a red light. That means you're running into danger. There's a reef just north of the pier there. There's a mast sticking up.
Yeah.
And you see a bit of white water just breaking, just barely breaking.
Yeah.
So that's what that's showing. It's showing danger. So you got to get out of that red sector.
And that's been there since the 1800s?
Yes.
Isn't that really simple technology?
Isn't it simple? It reminds me of the stories of the old pirates in Cornwall. Lighting the old beacons.
To trick people?
To trick people and ships coming in and get wrecked and plunder them.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that so much, you know.
They used to do it with cattle in Wexford. They would hang lanterns off their horns.
That's right, and they keep moving.
So the other ships would think, oh, that's another ship.
That's another ship, yeah. Wow.
Terrible, isn't it?
So you got to leave the red to pick up the white to be safe. Yeah.
What are you looking out for here now?
I just thought I heard the noise of... my ear is tuned. If I hear a noise other than a car or a tractor, just a helicopter noise, that buzz, or an aircraft.
Although the lighthouse is without a permanent keeper now, the complex itself is a refuelling depot for rescue helicopters going to and from the Atlantic.
we're all the time monitoring channel 16, which is the international distress frequency on marine VHF, and we're just a bit on tenterhooks at times when there are maybe 150, 200, 250 miles offshore in the depths of winter and gales blowing, and when the operation comes to a successful end, it's great to see them coming back here, topping up with fuel and then going back to their base or back to the hospital with the casualty, and everything works out okay.
And do you give them a cup of tea or anything like that, Nick?
If they have to shut down here, yeah, many's the night we did a big fry-up. Yeah.
There is one night that Vincent monitored but didn't want to talk about when we were filming, and that's because the official report of the incident hadn't yet been released. And that night was the night the rescue helicopter 116 crashed into nearby Black Rock Island, killing all 4 crew members.
I can go here till I'm 70.
When Vincent Sweeney retires, he wants to travel, especially places associated with military history.
And Anzio, Monte Cassino in Italy, and Auschwitz, Poland, Birkenau.
Why? It's a bit bloodthirsty, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just, maybe it's coming from this, maybe
what is
from
this
my
coming?
father. As it says here, my father was on the 4th of June, Mr. Ted Sweeney, attendant lighthouse keeper at Blacksod. What happened here, they were given the weather. June 1944, Operation Overlord, the code name for the invasion into Normandy, was to go ahead. And the Americans and British were disagreeing on weather, so then they said we'll wait for a report from Blacksod. So my mother took the call at 0200 on the 3rd of June 1944. She was the first one to see the barometer dropping. And they sent the report to Eisenhower, and when they saw the glass dropping, they cancelled the operation. Operation Overlord was cancelled by 1 day because of this forecast that came in from Blacksod. So it went ahead on the 6th of June.
So they saved lives.
Definitely saved lives.
How many lives did your mother save?
Well, because the next day about 175,000 Allied soldiers went into Normandy between all the beaches, so God only knows.
Vincent's mother Maureen now lives in a nearby nursing home which has seen several deaths during the Covid-19 crisis. But thankfully, she herself has come through.
Do you know what I got here this year? Unbelievable. For the first time, edible mushrooms.
Did you?
Yeah. Brought them up home, threw them on the pan, gorgeous. Couldn't believe it, just right here.
Vincent Sweeney at Blacksod Lighthouse, County Mayo.